What's up, YouTube? Thank you for stopping by my channel, checking out my video. I know it's been a long time coming. COVID happened, life happened, so I'm just thankful that we all got through it. We're good, and this is going to be the follow-up video that I've been promising that I was going to make on my 2018 Toyota Camry. So let's get into it. A little bit of backstory. I purchased my car in November 2017 against 2018, and when I went to purchase it, the XSE was not available. I'm pointing that out because it's going to be part of this video. Now, I've had zero, let me repeat that, zero issues with my Camry to date. As of this video, I have 49,000 miles on my car. 6 years into it. It's been paid off over a year and a half now. 49,000 miles later. So you figure averaging out to 10,000 miles per year, which is pretty normal. Zero issues whatsoever. So I'm thankful that to this point, it has not exceeded my expectations only because it's still low mileage. But it's, as of today, it's met my needs and it's met my expectations. Now, here's what I really love about the Toyota Camry. When you look as a consumer, when you look at total cost of ownership, okay, financing your car, all the maintenance, everything, when you talk about total cost of ownership and you talk about Toyota Camry, it's low. It's the lowest total cost of ownership out of its competitors. In addition to the oil changes, now the oil changes, I do use synthetic oil, so I change my oil every 5,000 miles. I use mid-grade gas, so 89, and I average to date between 26 to 28 miles per gallon, which is phenomenal considering what we went through in terms of the gas prices and that kind of stuff. So this 4-cylinder engine, 203 horsepower, let's say 26 miles to the gallon consistently. You can't ask for more than that. That's really good in terms of fuel economy. So let's just kind of go through the list of things that I really like. There are some things that I dislike that would be today, if I was going to purchase a Camry, would be a deal breaker for me, but it has nothing to do with the mechanical, the functionality, the operation of the vehicle whatsoever. It's really things that Toyota does where they send the wrong message to their loyal customers. And Toyota, I hope that you're listening to this because I want to share this message with you as well as to the folks that are watching this video. Number one, when I purchased this car, again, November 2017, it did not come with Apple CarPlay. Now you might be asking yourself, well, what's the big deal about not having Apple CarPlay? There wouldn't have been a big deal, but Toyota thought it was a good idea to stick Entune 3.0 into this car, or 2.0, whatever it was. The Entune system was hot garbage. You would pair your phone or you plug in the USB. It had no artwork to share on the screen or to show on the screen. The Entune GPS system was hot trash. I can't tell you how many times that system got me lost. In fact, the joke was I would pass an exit and then 5 seconds later the system would go, take the exit. You mean the one I just passed? It was so terrible. I deleted all the apps. I even wrote a letter to Toyota. Now, with all the growing pains of Entune, I wouldn't even say 6 months later. I would say less than 6 months later, the 2019 Camrys come out. And lo and behold, they have Apple CarPlay. So I get pretty excited. I'm like, oh, I know for a fact Toyota's going to retrofit Apple CarPlay into the 2018. We're talking less than 6 months. So I call a dealership, And I get, no, they're not going to do that. They're not going to retrofit anything. I'm going to go to Toyota corporate. So I call and I ask the same question, I get the same answer. I'm like, really? A basic software upgrade. They don't have to build the system because they've already done that. We're just saying you need to retrofit it to the 2018. That's a software upgrade. So that left a bad taste in my mouth, Toyota. Roughly 4 months later, I get a call from the dealership. It says, hey, bring your car in. We're going to do the upgrade to Apple CarPlay for free. Okay, look at things like that. We don't forget. We're going to keep that in our back pocket and remember that when we ever get to the point where we're in the market to purchase a new car. So be careful. The second thing is, and this is a deal breaker, there was an issue, folks complaining about the 2018 Toyota Camry transmission, where it would hesitate. Now, I didn't experience that until I reached around 25,000 miles. And I thought, this is interesting because I never had the issue, so I felt like I dodged that bullet, so to speak. Now, I'm starting to have this issue where I'm pressing the accelerator. I'm actually in first gear. I'm pressing the accelerator to merge onto the highway or to get in front of traffic. 2 seconds go by. The car's still going the same speed, and all of a sudden I hear the transmission catch, and the car takes off. And I'm thinking, that's not supposed to happen. So I called Toyota, the local dealership, and I tell them what's going on, and I'm already due for, just a coincidence, I'm actually due for an oil change. So I combine the two, and I say, hey, I'm gonna bring it in. I wanna check the transmission as well as get an oil change. I get to the dealership, drop my car off. A couple of hours later, hey, we changed your oil, everything's looking good in your car. We did a diagnostic test. We couldn't find anything, that spoke to this issue you're having with your transmission. I said, okay. So off I go. And I never have the issue again. Let's go to the really good things that I like about the car. Again, just to revisit, fuel economy, fabulous. I don't know if I did a good job in the front of this video capturing the paint, but the paint after almost 6 years has held up nicely. The car's a little bit dirty, only because of the weather, but even in the sunlight, you can still see that metallic, kind of like silverish reflection on top of this pre-dawn gray mica paint is what they call it. So it's really a nice paint, quality paint job that they did on this, even the clear coat. The car itself still has that Lexus-like ride quality to it. It's quiet. And here's the one thing I want to point out too, and I don't know if anybody else with the 2018 has experienced this. I've purchased cars in the past, and after 2 or 3 years of just, normal wear and tear, you start to get wind noise through the windows, or I should say, the outside wind coming in the windows. Like, I don't know if it's like the insulation or the seal quality, but my 2018 Camry has held up nicely over the years where I still have that quiet interior. So I'm loving that part of it. Whatever you did with that Toyota, keep doing that because it works. Toyota's Safety P has been a phenomenal addition to the Camrys. The rear collision traffic alert, when I'm pulling out of the parking spaces at the market or picking up food, cars that are coming east and west of me, the system will detect before I even pull out and see the car. So I'm loving that because, again, it keeps you from getting into a potential accident. Not saying that anything would happen, but just to have that added benefit. Pedestrian detection alert. A lot of times at night, particularly in my neighborhood, you have people that, for whatever reason, like to run without any kind of reflective gear, and they'll run out right in front of your car, and the system will detect that And it's a good thing because, again, it keeps you alert. It keeps you out of situations where you could potentially get into an accident. The one experience I like to just really point out and highlight is that one day I was coming home. I took a back road. I was on a twisty, windy road, and it happened to have a lot of hills. And if you've ever been on this type of road and you know there's a lot of blind spots, and there were like 2 or 3 cars in front of me, a couple of cars in the back of me, and the car that was in the front, for whatever reason, squirrel crossed the road, wherever it may have been, just stopped abruptly in the middle of the road. Hit the brakes and just came to a very hard stop. Obviously, that set off a chain reaction, car behind that car, and then me, the third car in place. And one of the things I always do is I keep enough distance in front of me and the car in front of me. I keep at least 2 to 3 car lengths of distance between, just in case for those reasons. And when that happened, the sensors inside of the Camry in my car lit up red, and on the dashboard it was blinking, brake, 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 and just like a millisecond before I hit the brake pedal, the car actually started to slow down like it was stopping. And I was blown away by that, because I said to myself, what if I was in a situation where I passed out and I just didn't have the ability to press the brake pedal? The car does that for me. I was like, wow, that's phenomenal. So thank you, Toyota, for putting that system in. It really works. Lane departure, to this day, keeps me honest. And if I have particularly my biggest critic in the car with me, which is my wife, she could be just relaxing with her eyes closed, and if I just touch that line, the car will start beeping. She goes, "Stay straight." And I'm like, wow. I appreciate a car that keeps you honest, but a car that rats on you, I don't know if I can say anything about that. You tell me how you feel about that in the comment section. The blind spot mirror detection, that one is a godsend, because I can tell you that I'm on the highway more often than I'm in the city, like driving city streets. And folks, you folks out there that do not know how to use your turning signals, use your blinkers, because I can't begin to tell you how many times I'm in my lane, I don't see anything close to me, I put my blinker on to change lanes, and all of a sudden my blind spot mirror detection light comes on, and then I get back in my lane, and all of a sudden, like, this car just flies past me, and I'm like, are you serious? Like why? Okay, getting back to the blind spot monitor. Phenomenal system, keeps you out of trouble. The entire Toyota Safety Sense P system keeps you out of trouble, keeps you honest. The last thing I want to tell you about, what I really like too, is over the years, as we all, drive and get older, I can't speak for you guys, but I can speak for myself. You pick up bad driving habits, and what I mean by that is, a lot of time I'll drive, particularly if I'm just driving straight, with my 2 fingers right in the middle of the steering wheel, just to steer, just in case I have to steer it. And if I don't have enough pressure, the system will start beeping and show me a coffee cup. Like, it's almost assuming, are you falling asleep? Do you need to take a break and get some coffee or something like that? Whereas once that happens and I just apply a little bit of pressure, the car goes, oh, yep, paying attention. He's alert, he's got his hands on the wheel. So I respect that, because it keeps me honest and focused. And again, with my bad driving habits, admittedly, I shouldn't be doing it. I shouldn't have both hands on the wheel. Although even if it's light, I should still have both hands on the wheel driving, but I'm always paying attention. So I don't have any tickets, I don't have any accidents, okay? So those are the things that I really like. Now, I told you about the issue with the Apple CarPlay. I told you about the issue with the transmission. All resolved. All resolved. Very quickly, might I add. Still left a bad taste in my mouth. Still is right here in the back of my mind. This, or those two I should say, would be deal breakers if it happened while I was in the market to purchase a new car. Now, this is not a deal breaker, so don't get me wrong on this one. This interior, this soft text material, this synthetic leather, as we all know it to be, it's good. Don't get me wrong. Synthetic leather, what they did with this soft text material, it's really good. It's held up well. Everything inside the interior is held up, I mean, phenomenal. On long road trips, because I have long legs, Toyota, I hope you're listening to this and watching this video. Please make the lumbar support longer by 2 to 3 inches. 2 to 3 inches. Okay? So we're talking maybe here. Because I know, and this is, I'm just speaking for myself, I can't speak for anybody else out there. I took a long road trip and I was surprised that my hamstrings were starting to get fatigued. I was restless. I had to continue to move my legs because they at points felt like they were falling asleep. And so I know that Toyota, your competitors have a little longer lumbar support, which makes it more comfortable for folks with longer legs. Again, I don't know if anybody else experienced that. It's not a deal breaker for me, but it's something that I noted, right? And I put on my checklist for the next go around. So everything held up nicely, externally, internally. The car rides phenomenal. It still has that quiet Lexus-like ride and comfort to it. Here's the other thing. It's not a deal breaker, but again, it sort of kind of left a bad taste in my mouth only because Toyota feels like they don't have to disclose information. I'm not sure. Again, I may not know what's going on behind the scenes. It might be some kind of proprietary system that Toyota did research and development on, spent a lot of money and time that went into it, and they don't want to disclose it so that their competitors would have it. But here's this very small nitpick that I have. It has a very nice sounding stereo system. When I asked the dealership, I said, how many watts is this stereo system? We don't know. Toyota didn't tell us that. So I called Toyota Corporate. I called Toyota Corporate, trust me. I said, hey, how many watts does the stereo system have? I couldn't get an answer. Help me make sense of that. Wattage. That's a question that could be answered basically without disclosing any kind of patent or trademark secrets. Anyway, so let me recap on the things that I like. Total cost of ownership. 0 issues to date. 0 issues. Ride quality, comfort, still quiet inside. Sort of Safety Sense P. The fact that they put Apple CarPlay in there. The fact that whatever was going on with the transmission, they did the software fix to it. Retains its value. And I want to share something really quick at the end of this video about Toyota Camry's retaining its value. One more thing that I'll go over that may or may not be the issue. It may have happened in certain vehicles. I didn't recognize it in mine, and I'm pretty sensitive. So let me just let me just get to the point here. My wife, who has a very sensitive smell, would get in my car and say, what is that chemical smell? What is that? I wouldn't smell anything. I've had other people in my car that didn't smell anything, so I'm not sure. But just to check, see if anybody else was going through this kind of scenario, lo and behold, I go out to Toyota Forum and I see some folks saying, hey, there was a chemical smell, and people were recognizing it when they got in the car. And I'm like, okay, so there's some truth to this. Again, I couldn't detect it, and I have a very sensitive smell as well. But my wife could. And she said it would give her a headache. And these folks that were chiming in would say, yeah, it would give these, folks a headache. And so I went and got a detail and cleaned the seats, and that went on for a while. But as of this video, again, 49,000 miles later, as of this video, my wife doesn't smell it anymore. So I am not sure what it was, what happened, but I do know that certain things, like we had a foam bed, the roll-up beds that come in the plastic, and you open the plastic and then the bed inflates. I know that they have to kind of like let out gases for 24 hours, 48 hours, and you would smell that, but they tell you that. So Toyota, if you recognize that this is a potential issue, let your customers know that. I'm not saying that it is, I'm just saying stay true to who you are, stay true to your customer base, stay loyal to your customer base like we'll be loyal to you. Be upfront, be honest with us. So, in closing, 0 issues, still love the car, it's still holding up well. If I was in the market today to buy a new Camry, would I do it all over again with the SE? No. Here's the caveat. Excellent car. Bought my car in November 2017. The XSE was not on the lot yet, so I didn't get a chance to look at it. The LE, SE, and XLE were on the lot. Those 3. The XLE was the luxurious version of the LE, but I wanted the sporty version, so I wanted the SE. Now, here comes the XSE, which is not only the class looker, phenomenal looking car. Same design, but it's got the upgraded wheels. It's got the upgraded panoramic sunroof. It's got the upgraded materials inside. It's got the leather. Some of them come with the red leather, but it's got the upgraded seats, leather seats. It's got the options for the heated seats. I'm not sure if they're ventilated. They may be, I forget, but it has the Eco Sport, I guess the regular mode. It's got all the things for $2,000 more than the SE. And if you're financing over 60 months, and we're talking $2,000, $2,500 financing, that's change inside in terms of what it would do to your car note. So if I had to do it all over again, the XSE is the better value. And I'm talking a 4-cylinder. I'm talking 4-cylinder, 4-cylinder. 203 horsepower versus 206 horsepower, I think. But for between $2,000 to $2,500, that XSE is the better value. So if I had to do it all over again, I would have waited the 3 whatever months that it took for the local dealership to start getting those XSEs into the lot, and I would have just gotten that one. So the last thing I want to close with is once the 2025 Toyota Camrys come out, I looked at those. I really like the interior. I really like the exterior. I like what they've done with it. I'm going to go test drive, and if I if it sparks an interest in me trading in, because again, Toyotas keep their value, they retain their value. I got about $19,000 of equity in this car after paying it off over a year and a half ago. So I'd have plenty of equity to do a trade. So I'm going to document that process, and the reason why is I want to document it so that if you're in the market and you're not really sure how to negotiate with a dealership and pricing and things like that, I'm going to document my journey so that maybe it gives you some value and some tips and ideas on how to deal with that process and how to go through that process. So again, thanks for stopping by. If you got any questions about anything in particular that I didn't cover, or you need me to go a little bit more into detail, shoot me a comment. All right, please like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out. And until the next time, Camry owners, be safe.